نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نون والقلم وما يسطرون ما أنت بنعمة ربك بمجنون وإن لك لأجرا غير ممنون وإنك لعلى خلق عظيم فستبصر ويبصرون بأيكم المفتون صدق الله العظيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي اللهم اجعلنا عبادي الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وآله وأصحابه أجمعين آمين يا رب العالمين. So, as Brother Jawad rightly said, who was doing the coordination here, oh sorry, I have to speak another thing for reminder. جیسا کہ Brother Jawad نے بھی کہا کہ یہ حب رسول ہے صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کہ آج ہم یہاں جمع ہیں. الحمدللہ یہ بہت بڑی نعمت ہے. رسول کی محبت ایمان کے بنیادی تقاضوں میں سے تقاضا ہے. ایمان کی تکمیل ہی نہیں ہو سکتی اگر رسول کی محبت دل میں نہ ہو صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم. میں حدیث ایک پیش کرتا ہوں. نبی اکرم صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم نے فرمایا اَيُؤْمِنُ أَحَدَكُمْ حَتَّى أَكُونَ أَحُبَّ إِلَيْهِ مِن نَفْسِهِ وَمَالِهِ وَوَلَدِهِ وَوَالِدِهِ وَالنَّاسِ أَجْمَعِينَ کہ تم میں سے کوئی شخص مومن نہیں ہو سکتا یہاں تک کہ اسے مجھ سے محبت اپنی جان سے، اپنے مال سے، اپنے والدین سے اور تمام انسانیت سے زیادہ نہ ہو جائے. تو رسول صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کی محبت ایمان کا تقاضا اس حد تک ہے کہ اپنی نفس سے، اپنی جان سے، اپنے مال سے زیادہ نبی اکرم صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم سے محبت ہو. یہی اللہ تعالیٰ چاہتے ہیں. ایک فطری تقاضا سامنے رکھتا ہوں میں. انسان کسی کو فالو کیے بغیر نہیں رہ سکتا. مثال کے طور پہ ہماری مادری زبان. کیا ہماری مادری زبان ہماری والدہ نے دریافت کی تھی؟ نہیں. کسی نے کی تھی جو چلتی چلی آئی تو ہم فالو کر رہے ہیں. سملرلی یہ جو ہم کپڑے پہنتے ہیں اور جو ہمارے روزمرہ کے معاملات ہیں، ہم جو کچھ کرتے ہیں، عمل کرتے ہیں، کسی سے متاثر ہو کے کسی کو فالو کر کے کرتے ہیں. اور جدید تہذیب کو اگر دیکھا جائے تو انفارچونیٹلی، بدقسمتی سے ایسے بد کردار لوگوں کو فالو کیا جا رہا ہے سوچے سمجھے بغیر. تو اللہ سبحانہ و تعالیٰ نے انسانیت پر رحم کیا اور نبی اکرم صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کی بعثت فرمائی اور ان کو ہمارے لیے ایک نمونہ بنا دیا. اللہ تعالیٰ فرماتے ہیں سورہ احزاب میں لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ أُسْوَةٌ حَسَنَةٌ تمہارے لیے نبی اکرم صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کی ذات میں بہترین نمونہ ہے. تو یہ تو ایک بات سی ضمنی سی. میں تھوڑا سا تعارف کراؤں گا پروگرام کا کہ ہم کیا کریں گے. کہ میرا جو ٹاپک ہے وہ ہے اخلاق رسول صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم. اور اس کے بعد ہم کوشش کریں گے کیونکہ یہ اب حب رسول کے تقاضے جو ہیں، حب رسول صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم، یہ مطلب ہے کہ اب آپ صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کی 63 سالہ زندگی کو 1.5-2 گھنٹے میں سامنے رکھنا یہ کوئی انصاف نہ ہوگا، ممکن بھی نہیں. تو ہم کچھ ایسپیکٹس کور کریں گے اس وقت میں، قلیل وقت، جس میں جو ہے وہ نبی اکرم صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم کی سنت تو کور ہوتی ہے اکثر جگہ، تو وہ ہم نہیں کریں گے. اسی طرح نبی اکرم صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم سے محبت کی کس طرح کی جائے اور لوگوں کے اس سے وہ اپنی جگہ پر حق ہیں. Okay, that's fine. So what we will be covering here is, the manhaj of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the nusrat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then in my section, which I'll be speaking on akhlaq, so we're going to be focusing on the internal aspect of it. Normally what happens that the akhlaq, which is the character attributes of character attributes like ethical, moral characters. So we will not be talking about the external characteristics, rather we will try to talk about the internal aspect of it. What is the source, how it originates, and what is the internal process in the heart. Because obviously if we change our heart, the external aspect automatically change. So Prophet ﷺ here is calling the internal condition of his heart as a sunnah. In a hadith where Prophet ﷺ said that مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ أَن يُصْبِحَ وَلَيْسَ فِي قَلْبِهِ غِشٌّ لِأَحَدٍ فَلْيَفْعَلْ. That whoever has this ability that he should make his morning in a way that he has no hate in his heart against anyone, then he should do that. فَإِنَّهُ مِن سُنَّتِي, because this is my sunnah. وَمَنْ أَحَبَّ سُنَّتِي كَانَ مَعِيَ فِي الْجَنَّةِ. Whoever loves my sunnah will be with me in Jannah. So Prophet ﷺ pointing out here the internal condition of his heart as his sunnah. So this where we will be focusing more, that how we can make our heart as his heart. How we can make our niyyah as the niyyah of Prophet ﷺ. How we can make our mood like Prophet ﷺ's mood. How can we make our nature at Prophet ﷺ's nature. So normally we see, when we talk about the character attributes, and we see good character, so we try to compare it with Islam. Islam also teaches us these good characters. But the thing is, like, they look alike, but it's different. They are good characters, but they are not akhlaq. Akhlaq is more deep. So to understand akhlaq, what is the source of it? We need to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created everything on abdiyah. In Surah Maryam, ayah number 93, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that in kullu man fis samawati wal ardi illa atiya ar-rahmani abda. Whatever is there in heavens and the earth comes to Rahman in abdiyah, in humble obedience, in submission. So the nature of everything is abdiyah. And this is a very stringent law. If you see a lot of obligations in deen and human stations, human levels, and even human emotional condition comes from this source of abdiyah. So in other words, when a human being recognizes himself as Abd and recognizes Allah as the Rabb, where the due of Allah, where Allah is supposed to be, and recognizing self as Abd, where an Abd is supposed to be a humble, submissive servant. The character attributes that oozes out from these two recognitions is akhlaq. So what is akhlaq? The recognition of Allah as Rabb and recognition of nafs as Abd. For instance, we recognize Allah as Al-Ghani and recognize ourselves as absolute faqir. We recognize Allah as Al-Alim, absolute knowledgeable, and recognize ourselves as absolute ignorant. We recognize Allah as Al-Aziz, absolute encompassing, and recognize ourselves as absolute helpless and dependent person. So this is what it is, when we put things on its station where they are. So this is how. This recognition reverts our fitrah back on abdiyah. Similarly, if a person thinks himself independently, disconnection with this concept of abdiyah, and identify himself as a sole, independent being. So if that person produces good moral characters, they are not akhlaq. They may look like, but they are not. Now, creation of these soul beings is what secular education system is doing, disconnecting people with Allah. So they don't recognize Allah as Rabb and don't recognize themselves as Abd. So, if you remove abdiyah from akhlaq, remains behind is nothing but a salesman morality, where somebody is just being nice to get reward from other people, so that other people may think that he's good. Whereas in Islam, these characteristics oozes out of the nature of a person. It's so deep, so deeply rooted. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran, when talks about akhlaq, which is good moral characters, so what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about abdiya or ta'alluq ma'allah, before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about akhlaq. For instance, in Surah Furqan, وَعِبَادُ الرَّحْمَنِ الَّذِينَ يَمْشُونَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ حَوْنًا. So first Ibadur Rahman is mentioned, then all the attributes of human characters are mentioned there, what's supposed to be. Similarly in Surah Isra, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. Now then the attributes comes, what's supposed to be, what Allah requires in a moment. But before that, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ. Abdiya is mentioned. Similarly, at the end of this list of, personality characteristics, at the end again Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeats, وَلَا تَجْعَلْ مَعَ اللَّهِ إِلَهًا آخَرَ. Again, do not hold any ilah other than Allah. Again, abdiya is mentioned. And if we see hadith, Prophet is also connecting this thing with ta'alluq ma'allah or iman. All these good characters are connected. They're not in the form of disconnect. Prophet said that in one hadith, it was a very popular one, by Allah that person is not mu'min, by Allah that person is not mu'min, by Allah that person is not mu'min. Companions asked Prophet whom are you talking about? Prophet replied, the one whose neighbor is not fully protected from. So his behavior, which is a personality attribute, connected to iman, that he's not mu'min. So on and so forth. But today, unfortunately, when we talk about good moral characters, ethical characters, what do? Even we're talking about Prophet's character, we disconnect it with abdiya and iman, as if good character can stand alone. They are not akhlaq. They are not akhlaq. Now this recognition due to iman and abdiya, a person recognizes Allah as Rabb and recognition of self, that what is mine? My birth is mine. My body, I created it. My life, I created it. So if we see, there's a very limited portion of our life which is in our control. 99% is not. I chose my parents, I chose my siblings, I chose my children. No. What did I do? So if we see, we are already in submission to us. So this, considering ourselves as a submissive slave of Allah, abd, produces other character attributes. For instance, if you see Prophet ﷺ, there was a very strong attribute in him called tawazu, humility. He was thoroughly humble person. So much so that when he was been given a choice, that does he want to be Abdan Nabiyyan or Malikan Nabiyyan, like Sulaiman alayhi salam. And he chose to be Abdan Nabiyyan. When he used to see people gathered in more than one gathering, so he used to choose to go to those gatherings where poor people are there. He used to pray, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make me live among poor people, make me die among poor people, and raise me on the day of judgment amongst poor people, miskin. So another attribute, personality attribute he has in him was hilm, tolerance. What is tolerance? You have the authority to take revenge and you don't take revenge. You let go. That is tolerance. This is not tolerance that you can't do anything and you're not taking revenge. That is not tolerance. So, Prophet ﷺ, there are a lot of examples. I'm not going to go into it. I'm just trying to bring a few. Let me put a a saying of Aslaf, that one who is increasing in ilm, knowledge, but decreasing in hilm, tolerance. If the knowledge is increasing and the tolerance is decreasing, so actually that person is not increasing in anything but distance from Allah. He's going away from Allah. His knowledge is either not helping him recognize what Allah is, or not helping him to recognize what he himself is. He's nothing, he's just an abd of Allah, a humble, submissive slave. So Prophet ﷺ, a lot of examples of his hilm. Let me quote you two of them here. A Jew came to Prophet ﷺ. Prophet ﷺ took loan from him. Prophet ﷺ there was a haya, element of, of diya, iman, haya. He was not used to let his companions know his, requirements. He used to hide his requirements. So he went to Jew and took loan from him. There was 6 months due to return the loan. But what happened? The Jew came earlier, and Prophet ﷺ was sitting with companions, and Umar ﷺ was also sitting there. And he came and he said, "O Muhammad ﷺ, return me my money. You and your family, when you take the money, don't return the money on time." He involved his family, his grandfather. Whereas there were 6 months yet to go. Umar got angry. He took his sword to kill that person. But Prophet ﷺ said, "Don't stop. You should tell me, right? I'm supposed to return his money. Instead, you're getting angry on him." So he got up, took the money from his house and gave him the money. And he said, "There's still 6 months to go, but no problem. Take your money." And this person, he said that, "I have read Torah and I have read all the attributes of the last prophet that is supposed to come. And I read that the prophet that's supposed to come, he will be so great in hilm. And I have found that in you." And he became Muslim. "I don't need my money. I just came here to see your hilm. That's why I was arrogant with you." So another instance, when a Bedouin came to Prophet ﷺ, at that time Prophet ﷺ was wearing a sheet with edges of that sheet made up of very hard cloth. He pulled the sheet so hardly that it gave abrasions on Prophet's shoulder. So, and he said, "O Prophet O Muhammad," this is how he addressed Prophet. "Give me money from the money that Allah has given you." Look at the way. So rude, so disrespectful. Companions got angry. Prophet ﷺ said, "Hold on, everybody hold on." Then he said that Prophet ﷺ very calmly, in that condition, anybody can react, said to that person, that Bedouin, "You know what? You hurt me, right? You hurt me. So there's going to be the qisas you have to pay." The Bedouin replied that, "Oh, I've heard that when people are arrogant with you, your hilm increases." Prophet ﷺ immediately smiled that he got it. So he said, "Give him camels, a very load of camels." So they gave him a lot of camels and he left. So imagine when people were rude to Prophet ﷺ, how he used to react. And reason the iman that is recognizing ourselves as abd. And he used to tell his companions, don't raise me as Nasara raised Isa to the station, of God. Don't raise me that way. Rather, you should call me Abduhu wa Rasool. So, another attribute that was in Prophet's system was the attribute of compassion. When a person recognizes that his iman in him he believes in Rahman, and the Lord he believes in is merciful, And the iman which he has inside him is of Rahman. He's a witness of Rahman. His iman is he himself holding iman of Rahman in him. He's a witness to him. How it is possible that that iman does not reflect from him, his personality? How mercy will not reflect from him? So again, the recognition of Allah as Rabb and person as Abd. So, and if you see the Prophet ﷺ, these attributes did not come to him after Nabuwah. It was there in him. Because his fitrah was on abdiyah. His fitrah was pure. Fitrah is nature. So one example, before Nabuwah, Prophet ﷺ came back home and he was crying, and Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha was in other room maybe. She heard that as if water is boiling. So she came out looking for where the sound is coming, and she saw Prophet ﷺ crying his heart's out. So Khadija radiallahu ta'ala anha inquired, why are you crying? So Prophet ﷺ said that I just saw a tribe outside Makkah, and the children in that tribe, they don't have clothes on their body. They don't have shoes in their feet. In this harsh weather. Those who have been to Makkah in summers, they can imagine. You can't step on the sand with this kind of, it's very hot. And there were small children. So look at the mercy in him, look at the compassion in him, even before Nabuwah. And what he replied to Khadija, he said that, oh Khadija, how there's so much misery in this world. How can I alleviate this misery? How can I help people? And Khadija calmed him down and then sent him go and call tribal chiefs, such and such tribal chiefs. He went, he called them, and when he came back, he saw that Khadija has collected a heap of gold. It was so high that if Prophet sit behind that heap, he would have, that was taller than himself. So he said that I call these people, these tribal chiefs, to be witness that I gave all of this to Muhammad. And he may spend it wherever he wants. And what did he do? He spent everything on these people. But guess what? You help people. That doesn't change. Helping people is sunnah of Prophet. It's every compassionate person should do that. But that's not enough. You have to identify the source. What is causing that problem? And in that society, it was the systemic injustice which was causing those problems. So if you help that problem, actually you're helping people on the same note, you're helping the system. That system is getting away. The injustices system is producing, and such cruelty the system is producing, and you help the people who are suffering. That's a good thing, but on the other hand, you're helping the system. So the system will be, feel free to produce more people. Some people are helping them, so we're not supposed to worry about it. So anyway, once somebody brought 90,000 dirham in Prophet's gathering in Masjid al-Nabawi. Prophet distributed 90,000 dirham, did not take a single dirham to his house. He spent every dirham distributed to people. Look at his compassion. Similarly, once after Salah, he got up and he climbed the safs and went back and went inside his home and brought some dirhams in his hand and distributed among people. One of the companions asked Prophet why did you leave in a rush? He said, I just remembered, there were some dirhams I was supposed to distribute, so it just came to my mind. So he after first salah, immediately went there and got those dirham and distributed among the people. Some narration said that he never used to keep things for tomorrow. But some narrations also say that he stored some food for his family. So once a man came to Prophet ﷺ from a tribe, and he asked Prophet ﷺ to help him. Prophet ﷺ gave him so much money, so much provisions, that he went back and said to his fellow tribesmen that, oh my fellow tribesmen, go and believe in this Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He gives so much that if he has no fear of running out of provisions. Look at the iman. So this compassion towards people is what he replicated. This is what he replicated in his companions. This was one of the main pillars people were accepting Islam. Beside ideological, beside spiritual, beside, other attributes, this is one of very strong attribute of Prophet ﷺ, which Prophet's companion replicated. So these effects transformed the society. They impacted the society. People started thinking soft corner. People started developing soft corner about Muslims and Islam. People started loving Islam. People started looking up towards Islam for their problems, for social, economic, and political solutions. So, Prophet ﷺ and his companions, all these things which they've been doing, which I just mentioned, were these things the goal? This is not the goal, brothers. This is the means of purpose of sending down Prophet ﷺ. These are the means. So, the balance Prophet ﷺ taught us in all hemispheres of life is what we are missing today. So, inshallah, I'll pass the mic to Brother Muzammil. He'll be talking more on the reason of Prophet sending down of Prophet ﷺ, what was the purpose Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him down. So, may Allah help us understand and follow the internal sunnah of Prophet ﷺ. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.